Okay, I believe I am streaming. How's everybody's squeaky chair this morning? Go ahead and send out a link because a buddy wanted to see this build. Spiffing Brit. Ooh, he's streaming. You should watch that instead. If you heard that, you need to like and subscribe. Everything he does is great. But yeah, I'll probably end up watching whatever he streams after this. I hear my bun. He's scratching at the ground. Okay. What we got here? Probably got some cruddy maps. Alright. I have points invested in less damage taken from reflected damage or whatever. I don't know if that really helps. So I need to put that to the test. Just not right now. After I level up. Yeah, let's do that. Bada boop. I'm bleeding. It's gushing blood. God damn it. Oh, here's the boss. He came pretty easily. So yeah, that's the build right there. No real tricks. It's pretty simple. I mean, you end up using more buttons than you would with most of my builds. Gosh. Oh man. Physical damage reduction. Oh boy, what's a possess? Oh. Okay, let's see. Let's get out of here. Oh boy. I guess we could go ahead and use that. That's not what I meant. Shh, 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 shh. Stop talking. Where did I put that? There we go. Boom, boom. I suppose you don't belong in here. I don't know why I have that. I don't really need it. That, on the other hand, is not so bad. Okay, let's make another map. Boom. Okay, we're at about the 10-minute mark, so I don't know if my buddy's gonna watch, so I'll just run down this build because he wanted to see the setup. Let me grab a cup of coffee real quick, like. Very quick, like. Goodbye. Okay, got me some coffee. And let's see. Alright. Nothing special about my two-hander. Other than that, it's a mace. It's got +2 to melee gems. That's nice. Doesn't include brutality. I don't know why. Guess it doesn't say melee on it. Neither does MAME say melee. Maybe I should just put stuff that says melee on it. I'll look into that. Gloves aren't anything special. In fact, I just have them for the chaos resist, and I know I could do better. So those will probably get replaced pretty quick here. Here's the Cyclopean Coil. I think it's a great choice for almost any build, given the not only just the stats alone. I mean, good gravy. 110 health, 9% increased attributes. That's huge. But I can't be frozen or ignited. So that's pretty sweet. And then the red trail's pretty cool. Gives me a lot of extra movement speed. Decent amount of life, although the comms roots, which are kind of unnecessary, they give me about, I don't know, 140 extra max life. So that's alright. And in most cases, getting bleed is pretty bad, but for this build, it's not really a problem. I don't seem to lose health all that much given the returns I get from having endurance charges, so that's pretty cool. As far as rings go, I got Death's Rush for the added chaos resistance. It's kind of nice to have. Got Mark of Submission to cast a curse anytime I hit, so that's pretty hot. I really like that one. I'm sure there's a lot more defensive options. Actually, all around there are probably much better options, but I really like having this ring. Again, nothing too terribly special about my helmet. Resistances are decent, but the max health and the bonus to strength is pretty hot. This is probably something I'll end up changing sooner than later. I don't think I'm really getting a lot out of that life leech. Maybe I'm getting more than I realize, but I'm not. I don't know. So that's my equipment. I don't really use my flasks all that much, so I might actually just put utility flasks in my belt instead. As far as abilities go, I got the standard Leap Slam. It's pretty hot, especially with Earthshatter, which, as you can see, the DPS is fairly weak. I'm sure Mathil's got it fine-tuned to a much more lethal machine. It's okay. You don't really notice the low DPS for the most part. And then totems I don't really use, and then I'm accompanied by 3 shouts, and I end up rotating them quite a bit. And it's more of a return on life than flasks, it turns out. So yeah, that's kind of why I don't need flasks. I don't think I talked about this thing either. I'm not really sold on this. It adds about 2k extra damage. I don't really feel it while I'm running through maps. The reduced movement speed isn't that big of a deal, and I wish I got more life out of strength. I've stacked quite a bit of that, and I don't think you block with two-handed weapons. Let's see, defense. Is there a chance to block? Oh yeah, there is. So I got a small amount of block. So that's cool, I guess. I don't know. movement speed modifier. It goes up to 40. Oh, there's probably a penalty just from having armor. Oh well. Yeah, otherwise I'm pretty sturdy. Chaos resistance could be higher, but with endurance charges and the Juggernaut build, which we'll get into, pretty much stacking every bonus I can get out of those endurance charges. It's pretty sweet. The Unstoppable is really hot. I think that's one of the best nodes out of any Ascendancy. I like not being stopped or slowed down. As far as the tree goes, there's nothing special to see here. I'm still working on getting the last of my endurance charges, and I could use more DPS. I had to pick up this proficiency node for the Cyclopean Coil, and I've been using Mortal Conviction. I kind of like it. I'm limited to one aura, but it's kind of nice having blood magic and not having to worry about that. So that's pretty much the build. It's not anything special. I'd like to have Death's Oath instead of the Red Trail, but not that big of a deal. The chest piece, I think I'm going to have to replace with something I craft out of Harvest or out of the Sacred Grove. I haven't really got into that yet. What is happening? Oh. That's what I'm talking about. Guess I'll do this real quick, like. I think the highest map I've done is maybe 8. The highest tier, I mean. I think General's Cry is probably my favorite shout. I love the idea of it. I think it's great. $21 21k DPS. Oh my god. My god. That's all of the DPS. It's sad seeing numbers like that because my Hollow Palm build was much better. Should see how expensive that's getting. Oh, that's nice. Let's see. One thing. Yep, still about 2 exalts, so that's dumb. I remember it was like 7 last league. And the developers wanted you to use cluster duels, and now they're like, well, cluster duels are dumb, so you're dumb too. You like cluster duels. Personally, I thought that was awesome. I really enjoyed cluster duels. And I'm kind of sad to see that they're done now, so no thanks. Why bother? I'll probably pick up one. I think there's one that increases your resistances, your max cap on your resistances. That's probably something I'll grab, but not for a minute, because it's probably super expensive. But I think that would make a huge difference in this build. Not that it really needs a lot of help at this point. I think probably the chest armor needs to be changed. For this build, I feel like crafted will be the way to go. I haven't really looked at the auction house, and I don't have chat on because that shit's annoying, so. I do like this build quite a bit, though. It's very similar to a stun build I had a couple leagues ago. I think that was for Metamorph, but it really could have used War Cries. Hey, Bon. Lancing Steel. Yeah, I think I'm using that on another build. It's cool. Maybe not the best. Don't need haste. Haste would be cool. I doubt I have enough dexterity to keep that valid for long. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, it's a nice low level map. Just, oh, hey, Bon. Butterfly in the sky. Funny. Okay. Let's see. Guess I need a map. I don't think I've done this one in a while. yeah, let's do this. Good job, Choo Choo. Is there a cast speed on Leap Slam? What is this? Chewy, don't be annoying. Yeah, if you hear that, that's my rabbit jumping up and down boxes. He wants my attention. I give it to him, and then he'll like run away, and then he'll come back as soon as I start doing something else. He really enjoys that game. Chewy, don't do that. It's one of his favorites. Okay, Bunny. He's being a little scutch. You're a little fart. Come on, man. Chewy, don't do that. No, that's not for rabbits. Woo! Chewy, don't do that. Chewy, stop. Rabbit. Yeah, after this map is done, I'm gonna log out and play with my rabbit. Cause he wants attention right now, and he's not gonna calm down. Bunny, don't do that. He's back in his room. We'll see. Excitement. You might be able to hear my rabbit now. He's chewing on a box in his room. Okay. Alright, we're gonna stop because